Wait, Big J. Not only do you have the ginormous regular logo, you also acquired a Kelly Green.
Yeah.
That rocks.
He's gonna.
He got two chains.
Watch your blood pressure, Jay.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Jeff Skversky, welcome back.
Great to be here.
Good to have you. I'm surrounded. You're a Temple, right? A Temple guy.
Yeah.
I'm surrounded by Tempilians.
You know what?
We're not going to talk Temple.
Owls.
Do you know what a gathering of owls is called?
A hoot nanny?
A parliament.
Oh, okay. This is the Parliament
That's
show.
Yeah, there you go.
Are you as confident as Breland on this team? I mean, where are you here?
I can see them going 4-0. I can see them making a Super Bowl run. I can also see them, and don't shoot the messenger, getting knocked out here by the Packers.
Oh,
Do not underestimate the Packers.
Agreed.
This is Packers green, by the way.
Is it?
I think so.
I don't know, you guys. This seems. Actually, it is.
The Packers are really good. Think about it. Think about this. They have 6 losses.
Yep.
Okay. They lost to the Eagles. They lost to the Lions twice. They lost to the Vikings twice.
Yep.
Their only bad loss was to the Bears, and they didn't have Jordan Love that entire game. This Packers team is really, really a good football team.
But the only good team they've beaten is the Rams. That's it.
Okay.
Seattle, no, they didn't make the playoffs, so there's that as well. But you're right. At this stage, no game will be easy.
No.
The road is going to be difficult.
There's no easy weeks in the National Football League, regardless.
But I think this is a really tough draw. I mean, 25 combined wins. This has never happened wild card weekend.
But
this is a really tough draw.
But if all goes to plan, the divisional round could include the Tampa Bay Bucks, and we know how they've been with this team.
They have struggled against the Bucks.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. So it's not going to be easy.
But I think that this week, and of course, if you forecast to the future, having to go to Detroit against the Lions, those are really two really tough draws. But 14-win football team to be playing, this weekend, wild card weekend, is pretty rare.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Breland, we heard from Hurts today.
Yeah.
He had a lot to say. It's been a long couple of weeks for him.
Yeah, so Jalen, as we had alluded to, Jeff, he was officially cleared, concussion protocol. Nick Sirianni gave the A-OK today official news. We kind of figured that was happening throughout the course of the week, of them moving in book to the practice squad and him going from limited to full. The writing was on the wall that this was happening. But are you concerned at all with the issue? The fact that he hasn't really done much of anything since that Commanders game.
I am concerned. Is Jalen Hurts going to be able to get into a rhythm? And even he mentioned it today, saying that it's been kind of odd the last few weeks because he has not been in his routine. It's been a challenge for Jalen Hurts. He even admitted it. And then when you look at the fact that A.J. Brown's not 100%, Devontae Smith's not 100%, look, nobody's 100% at this point in the season, so let's make no mistake about it. But are the Eagles going to be able to get off to a good start? It's something they've also had issues with this season.
About that.
So think about this. In 15 starts this year, Jalen Hurts has orchestrated only 1 touchdown on their opening drive this season, and that was in that Commanders game where he ended up getting hurt on that second drive.
Yeah.
So they have struggled in those early in those games, and then you couple the fact that is he going to have a hard time getting into a rhythm? If the Packers take away Saquon Barkley early, what's going to happen there? That is my concern. But look, if they feed Saquon the ball, he gets going, you get A.J. Brown going, who knows?
Yeah, and that's a little bit of a concern as well, AJ. He was out with
all
a
we know
maintenance.
is the knee, right?
Yeah, it's a knee issue. It's a maintenance thing for AJ Brown. He says he's fine. He's he's gonna play. But I also just don't like the fact that he and Jalen haven't worked together for several weeks.
First time we've agreed on something in weeks.
I know.
I'm concerned about the same thing.
Don't let me get in between you two.
Right,
Disagree.
exactly.
Go ahead.
Reps and just full speed, game speed reps. It matters. Timing matters. I mean, we talk about when the Phillies have a week off between the end of the season and the wild card round. Timing matters. Reps matter, and it's been a month, Jeff.
It has. Here's the good thing. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles pass the ball less than any other team in football. They run the ball more than any other team in football. So if you're going to rely heavily on Saquon Barkley and you can get him going and get a couple quick passes going to your top receivers, sprinkle in Dallas Goedert, and get everyone involved early and get that going, that is going to be key to have everybody involved early. But in these playoff games, one mistake could be deadly, right? And so if you're not in rhythm, that is the deal. But, you talked about it earlier. This team has the ability, they have the talent to go to the Super Bowl and win it. But what team is going to show up in these games? What team is going to show up against the Packers? If they play their best football, they're winning this game. There's no question about it.
Yeah, I agree. Let's hear from AJ and Jalen right now.
You go through a routine every day. And being out of that is challenging. Obviously dealing with different symptoms ain't fun either.
Training staff been doing a great job, just trying to get me ready to play. I've been studying, walking through, doing as much as I can.
Alrighty, so also today, there were some all-pro snubs today. So Zach Bond and Saquon Barkley, congratulations to them for getting first team all-pro. But I want to talk about the Lane Johnson on the second team.
I love this.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
You don't?
No.
First of all, who cares? Secondly, this is great for the Eagles.
A little bulletin board material?
Yeah, and it was. Lane put up his stats next to Penei Sewell's stats of the Detroit Lions side by side at his locker.
Yeah.
The Eagles are going to use this as motivation. And star athletes, this time of the year, you want them to find that hatred or that anger and dig deep.
You know
I
what?
love it.
I wasn't thinking
well,
about that.
plus
I was just thinking, like, because he deserved
Oh,
it,
he deserved
that
it.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Yeah,
I do like it. You changed my mind.
Look at
just
one
now.
owl convincing the other.
Yeah.
But also he's a Hall of Famer no matter what. So it doesn't. You're right. Who cares?
And by the way, they're both star right tackles.
One was better
whatever.
than the other this year.
And
though.
no one, does anyone remember in 5 years from now they're going to remember any
Right.
of this?
No.
You're going to remember whether or not they
Right.
won and got to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
When we come
All right.
back, good cop, bad cop. I'm going to kind of lay out a case for the Green Bay Packers.
Am I the bad cop?
I'm going to be the bad
Yeah.
one. Well, you can just
We'll figure
join
it out.
either side.
Alrighty, well, welcome back.
And welcome back, Fink. It's been a while since you've been on the show. Yeah, nice to have him
in
back.
his new office that I see
Oh,
there.
is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Congrats to all the Ohio State Buckeyes. They survived Texas. It was a close game. They win it 28-14. And so now they'll go on to take on Notre Dame in about 10 days. So,
Yeah.
But there's lots of NFL to be played. This was one of the big plays here. And they win it. Strip sack and it was much closer than the final score indicated here on this one. And I would imagine Ohio State's favored to beat Notre Dame, but we'll see. Go Notre Dame. Can I get an amen to that?
I don't care.
Okay.
No. Well, everyone to see Penn
I don't
State go,
care.
right?
Yeah, that's over. That game
No.
is dead and gone. All right, we're going to play a little game of good cop, bad cop. I'm going to be a bad cop here. I'm just going to lay out just excuses on why the Birds might not win on Sunday, okay?
Way to be
I got
positive.
I got 10 things that, just 10 concerns, okay? Number one concern, you guys can tell me if I'm, you guys can be the good cop or the bad cop here. Tough to beat the same team twice in the same season.
That's not true.
Well,
I buy that.
Would you buy
I
that?
do buy. Look,
Okay.
look what happens in the division every year. It's tough to win, and sweep the NFC East.
Yeah, but look what happened in the division this year with the exception of the Commanders. So
Right.
it's fine.
and it was week one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're
in
totally
Brazil on a
fine.
bad field.
So
Yeah, I
that
think
was a long
enough time has
ago.
passed. I think it's fine.
Okay, excuse two. AJ and Jalen haven't practiced together in a month. It's a big deal.
I don't know. I mean, it's a great question. It's a great concern. It's my biggest concern.
But it is a slight
Okay.
concern, but they've been working together
Okay.
for how long? I think they'll be fine.
Okay, how about a timid Jalen concerned to run and get hit, after coming off a concussion?
He's never had a concussion.
Oh, man.
That was the first time. He said he felt a little uneasy, wasn't fun with some of those symptoms. And that is a big concern.
Hogwash?
No, I think he'll be just fine.
okay.
And I feel like if he plays scared, he's more liable to get more hurt. So just play the way he knows to play.
He's kind of, he can kind of be his own head.
We just need him to be serviceable.
By
We
the
don't
way-
need him to be great.
And by the way,
Just take care of the football.
Yep.
early on taking a big hit, that will be key because to get it out of your system and then go play.
I like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
All right. How about playoff Jordan Love should not be taken for granted. We saw what he did last year. He can be a monster in the playoffs.
First ever 7-seed team to win a playoff game.
Yeah.
Jordan Love's a
Join
great-
me in the bad cop realm. I like it.
Yeah, I don't think you should be taken lightly.
okay,
I just think this team is better.
Jalen Hurts rust.
That's fair, but I still think this team is better.
It's fair, and they're going to have to rely on Saquon.
All right. How about the kids on defense? They get exposed. How about they get exposed?
No, they haven't been exposed for 18 weeks of the
I know.
season. They keep rocking. What is it, Quinyanamo Bay?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I think that the Packers are going to go right after Quinyon Mitchell, go right after Cooper DeJean, and see what happens. And, if you're game planning against the Eagles, gotta go
Let's
there?
motor
I
through these
believe in the
last four.
children.
Josh Jacobs' success versus the Eagles. You can't discount that. How much the pressure? How about the pressure just gets to these guys?
No pressure.
No.
Okay.
No.
They've been here before.
How about just this? Philadelphia sports jinx. We're jinxed in this city.
No,
No,
just
that's not
stop
true.
it.
Oh, come on.
They just
Why
won
do
a
we-
Super Bowl like 7
A
years
long
ago.
time, and look at what has happened
A long
since.
time ago.
What has happened since? All right, and then
They made playoffs almost every year.
last thing is
They're
just
one of the winningest teams in,
Yeah,
in the NFL.
why?
in the regular season, but this ain't the regular season anymore. This is the playoffs, and
They
you
still
don't,
are. They still just went to the Super Bowl in
Don't come-
2023.
don't come crying to me.
They've been in
Don't
2
come
Super
crying to me
Bowls
when
in
something
7
happens.
years.
You know what? You're under arrest. Bad cop here.
Can I go?
All right.
Am I free to go?
You know, there's other games that we're excited about. Wild Card Weekend, besides the Birds, and they're going to win. I'm just, you know what? Take my
You're
bad
fine.
cop hat off.
You're fine.
But by the way, go vote here. We're asking you here, who scores the first touchdown?
That's fair. I'm gonna go big man Tutty.
You're
No.
going to go little Jordan Mailata checks in as an eligible receiver.
Saquon is.
You gotta
No,
go
that's
Saquon.
the logical
That's-
answer.
that's the one.
And
How
that's
about-
exactly
you know
what's
what?
going to happen.
He had 3 touchdowns against him the first week,
Yes,
right?
he did. He looked fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Multiple touchdowns for Saquon this
Yeah.
weekend, especially since he didn't get the record. He had the week off. He's ready to roll.
Yeah, he's going to
Yeah.
rip them. All right, here we go. There's your number. We're going to
Yeah.
talk wild card after the break. And this is a phenomenal weekend. 3 straight days of NFL football.
It's one of my favorite sports weekends of
That's
the year.
fair. Yep.
I would go March Madness weekend, that one. The Masters, I just
opening.
love the Masters. What is there? Am I missing something for like all-time sports weekends every year? This is it, especially with the college
and
football
I
playoffs.
would agree with you.
I also love Phillies playoffs. Eagles
that first
kind of
weekend.
getting going.
Yeah, that's fun.
I love
That's
those.
right up there
Stanley
too.
Cup Finals as well. Also fun.
Okay, it's been a while in here in Philly.
It's
but
been
soon.
It may be a while.
Back in my day, it
Flyers
used
are
to be
3
fun.
years away from being 3 years away. Come on
Yeah.
now. All right, so let's talk about the. It's not the first game, but it's the second game. It's tomorrow night. Steelers Ravens. Everybody talks about playoff Lamar. Everybody talks about but the Steelers are limping to the playoffs. They have not been good in the last several weeks. This is a big point spread, Jeff. What do you like about that game?
I like nothing as far as Steelers are concerned. It's all
Yeah.
Ravens to me.
Yeah.
The Ravens and Steelers are going in opposite directions, really, since each team played the Eagles. I mean, the Steelers have lost
Yeah.
4 straight. The Ravens have won 4
Yeah.
straight since losing to the Eagles. Something seems to be off with the Steelers and Russell Wilson. And
Something
even though
happened,
they're
yeah.
talking about, hey, they can win. They talked about it this week, that they can win the Super Bowl. I just
No
don't see it.
chance.
I don't see it.
Brother.
Yeah, well,
That's it.
and Breland has given up on Lamar as a playoff quarterback. Not
Yeah.
this weekend, but
I mean, he just needs to show me that he can make it past the divisional round,
Yeah.
and then I'll be back in.
Yeah, but it's tough getting past the Chiefs. It's tough getting past the Bills. I mean, those are tough teams.
Yeah.
I know, but he's supposed to be it. This team is supposed to be one of the most dominant teams. Well, then you need to beat the most dominant teams, and he hasn't proven that year after
All
year.
right, let's get back to the NFC here. Bucks and Commanders. I think it's a fascinating game. Commanders have been a surprise team,
I think the
kind of
Commanders
ahead of their
are
time.
gonna do it.
Overachieved this year, but you've got a playoff Baker. He beat the Eagles last year. He's having a good year. What do you like here?
I like the Bucks.
Yeah.
And it's a really, to your point, fascinating game. Which way is this going to go? But I think the moment is going to be just a hair too big for Jaden Daniels here. That first playoff start on the road. I don't like it. And plus, the Bucks are playing really well right now. They have had a tough, schedule this year. They have wins against the Eagles and Lions. I really do like the Bucks.
Breland, it's a fascinating game from an Eagles perspective, right? Are you rooting for the Bucks?
Oh, I'm rooting for the Commanders. 100%.
But then do you want to see them a third time?
Yes, because they've already lost a match to the Commanders.
I don't
would
wanna see the
much
Commanders.
rather see them 3 times.
You'd rather see the Commanders?
Then the Bucks with Jalen Hurts is what 1-4 against the Bucks.
They're
oh
due.
my God, no!
They're due. Let's go.
Todd Bowles has his number.
I think
I'm
it's a
all
pick your
set.
poison. I don't want to play either of them, to be honest.
Well, you're
Well, the
probably
Bucks-
going to see one of
The
them.
Bucks are your most common denominator
Yeah.
to draw. You could get the Rams, you could get the
Right.
Vikings, but I
they
think it could be-
reseed. So
nah,
yeah.
I'm all set. I don't.
Yeah.
Get him out.
And finally, another game we're going to look at is that Vikings-Rams game. It's almost a pick 'em. The Rams, of course, have to move their home game to Glendale, Arizona, due to the fires in LA. So that's a blow to the Rams, who they won
Yeah,
their
I feel
division and now
bad.
they
I
can't
feel
play at
bad.
home. I don't know. I mean, are the Vikings limping too? Because they got killed by the Lions there at the end. So.
Yeah, but the Vikings are nobody's talking about the Vikings.
Yeah.
I mean, the NFC, it's the Lions and Eagles. It's a 1-2 team race.
Yeah.
They're getting no respect. I like the Vikings in this game. You feel horrible for, of course, what's going on in Los Angeles and the wildfires. And they move this game, but I think it's just going to be emotionally too taxing for that team. Even though they have some bulletin board material this week, Dan Campbell was telling Kevin O'Connell, the Vikings coach, we'll see you in 2 weeks. So the Rams put that up in their locker room as motivation, as fuel, but I think it's just going to be too difficult.
They just won the Super Bowl, 3 years ago? It's the same pretty much team, same quarterback, same coach.
I don't know. I feel like I could go either way. We'll see.
Nobody's talking about the Chargers. They play the Texans first game tomorrow. Chargers, if they win this game, are going to go to KC, and I think they're going to give Patrick Mahomes problems.
No, they're not.
Can I wishfully think?
Come on. They're not. We have talked so much on this show about Patrick Mahomes' record against the AFC West in general.
Who's betting against Patrick Mahomes?
No one should bet against Patrick Mahomes.
I will. I'll do it right now then.
You just wanted You wanted to use this as an excuse for that impression. You're not fooling anyone.
I'm just saying. Justin Herbert has not been a turnover machine. It could be a good game. High scoring, maybe.
Yeah.
And in a shootout, I don't like the Chiefs in a shootout. I like the Chiefs in a low score.
Chiefs all the way.
All right.
You don't like the Chiefs in a shootout? Oh, boy. Okay, well, we'll see how it goes when somebody gets to the Arrowhead Invitational. All right, we're going to take a time out. There's your number.